Hello. Today we're going to be covering Excel and the different features that it has. We're going to go over the basics today. You can see I've listed them here. We're going to start by just entering information, then we're going to go on to merging some cells, a little bit of formatting there, using the built-in sum function, creating your own function, and that deals with taking a number and doing something to it, maybe adding another number or dividing a number or anything else that you could think of from your math class. Then we're going to go on to formatting text, formatting those numbers that we did, conditional formatting, creating a chart, formatting a chart, and using the if function. And the topic I picked today was something that we all are concerned about, monthly expenses. So I'm just going to go to Excel here on the bottom bar and choose blank workbook. So to enter information, you just have to highlight the cell that you want to type information in and just begin typing. So I'll start in this top left corner, cell A1, and I'll type monthly expenses. And then press enter when you're finished. In the next box, we'll put January and press enter. Now I want to go over to the cell next to it, B2. You'll see it's highlighted green, and then just type 2014. We'll continue typing the headings. Leave a little space, come down here to A4 and type in income. Enter. And then we list where the different incomes are coming from. So myself is one of them, my wife, and you never know, so I'll put unexpected just in case. You know, maybe you get your tax return or you pick up an odd job here and there. And then we're going to add all those numbers up afterwards. Next, leave a little space again. Now we're going to list out our expenses. Start by typing in a title for this list so you know what you're dealing with the next time you come and look at this project. And we'll list out our different expenses. For example, you'll have your rent or mortgage, light bill, TV and internet, phone bill, maybe a few credit cards, okay, you can see I've messed up there. If you ever mess up, just press the escape key on the top left corner. It will exit out of that cell and keep anything that you typed in that was there. And then I'll try that again. Okay. Me and my wife have 2 credit cards, so I will put 2 of them, 1 each. Then you want to make savings, include savings in your expenses. You don't want to just make it an afterthought. You want to actively save money. And also retirement if you're thinking of that. In the end, we'll total all of those again. Press enter. Press enter to go down one more. And towards the end, we're going to do a little custom formula to figure out how much money we have left over or how much money we are short. Okay. So you can see some of these cells, like unexpected, rent, mortgage, they're not fitting in the box. They're a little bit too big. So to adjust the column, we go up here between the A and B. You'll see that little line with the arrows pointing on the left and right side. You click on it and drag to where you want the box to end. So we want it to be bigger than the text, so about here should be good. And you can see all the text fits in the boxes now. Something else we're going to do is merge this cell with this cell. This is our main title, so we want it to stick out in the end. So what you do first is you click here with the white crosshair there, click and drag the mouse over to where you want all of those cells to merge. Once you've done that, on the Home tab, go to Merge and Center. And you'll see it's one big box now instead of two separate boxes. I can't click them individually. Now after that, we'll just start typing in our incomes and our expenses. So I'll just type in a few numbers, just like you type in text. Press enter, type in the next number, enter. For unexpected, say the tax return came in, it was a little bit small. Enter. And I'm going to go down to rent and mortgage, click on that. Type in what your rent is, you can do your own. I will type in $1,200. And I'll just fill in the rest of these columns. And I'll leave the total blank. I don't want to sit there and add those fields up. So that's the next thing we're going to do. We'll start here at the first total for the income. On the Home tab again, you can see over on the far right side there's an auto sum field. Just click on that and you'll see Excel adds a little function here. And you can tell it's a function because it starts with the equal sign. And this particular function is going to sum all the numbers between B5 to B7. And you can see them highlighted here. If you're doing your own functions later on in the future, you always want to make sure that the correct values are being highlighted. If not, you'll need to change it by just clicking and highlighting what you want to sum. Excel did a pretty good job here, so we're just going to press enter and you'll see 4,000. That looks right. We'll do the same thing for the expenses. Just click down here. Remember, we're still on the Home tab. Go to Auto Sum in the top right hand corner and click on that. And you can see Excel again has highlighted what it thinks we want to add up. In this case it is correct, so we're just going to press enter. Now if you want to do your own formula, like here we want to figure out how much extra we have after we pay all our bills for this month, we can type in that formula. We'll just start with equals, like all functions, like all formulas, and we'll start with our income, which is in cell B8. You don't want to type the number in, you want to type the cell reference, and I'll explain why later. And then we're going to subtract that. We're going to subtract from that the total expenses in cell B19, and then just press enter. And you can see that's what we have left over. So the reason why we want to type the cell references here and not the numbers themselves is because maybe I want to pay a little more on my credit card. You'll see that the total here will automatically change. So will this. It will automatically change as you type in new numbers if you use the cell references. So, the next thing, this worksheet is a little bit bland. It's hard to tell where the totals are. You can't really make out the information clearly. So we're going to format it now. We'll go from top to bottom, starting with monthly expenses. A lot of your formatting can be done here with cell styles. You can also do it here, changing it manually. And then for numbers, we'll get to that later, is right here. So I'm going to use the built-in formatting that Excel has provided. This is our title, so I'm going to choose title. This is also a title, so I'll highlight those. Remember to click the first one and drag across with the white crosshair. Cell styles again. And I'll use title again. To put some importance on monthly expenses, I'll make this title a little smaller. But it still has that color to make it stand out. For our income heading, I'll highlight both boxes. Cell styles again. And I will choose heading 2 is a little bit better. Heading 1 seems a little too big for my taste. Just that. We'll do that also with expenses. For our total columns, there's also a preset formatting for those. So I'll highlight that. Cell styles again. Right next to title, you'll see total. Click on that. And this is the accounting way of formatting the total. A thin line on top and 2 lines underneath. So I'll apply that total formatting to our other totals for our expenses and our total extra. It's looking a little better. So right here, I can't tell what kind of a number I'm dealing with. It's a little hard to read. So what I'll do is format these numbers with these options here. For the first number, I'll put the accounting number format, and you can see it adds commas, 2 decimal places, and a $sign. And you can do that also with all of these, but that might be a little bit too cluttered. So I'm going to just do the accounting format for the first and last number in each list. For the numbers in between these two, I will use comma style instead. These are very similar to the accounting format, as you can see, except they don't have the $sign. I'll just do the same steps with the expenses. Click on the first number. Click on accounting over here. Click on your last number in the list. Accounting again. And highlight with the white cursor, click and drag down and select comma style. Then for our total expenses, we'll use accounting again. And that's the basics of formatting. The next thing I want to do is create a chart. So to create a chart, the first thing you want to do is highlight your information. For my chart, I would like to use the expenses here. So I'm going to start with my first expense, including its title, go across to its value, and go all the way down, still holding the mouse button, until I get all my expenses. I'm not going to include the total because that's not an expense. Once that's selected, go to Insert, and on this tab you'll see some more options. The one we're going to use is our Charts option. For this, there's many different types of charts: column charts, bar charts, line charts. For mine, I'm going to use a pie chart, and you can see a few options here. I'll just choose the first option, and you can see it's automatically created a chart. To move the chart, it's just like if you were to move a picture. You just click in the corner here and drag it to where you'd like it to be. To change the chart title, click on the chart title and you can just begin typing. Now it looks like nothing is happening in this box, but it's actually happening up here. This is where you need to look. I'm just going to type expenses for this title and press enter, and you'll see it change. The next thing we're going to do is a little bit of formatting for this chart. Make it a little bit more meaningful. You can see up here Excel has provided some built-in formats. There's quite a few of them. I want to know how much of my total expenses each expense is. What percentage of my expenses is going towards my FPL bill, my credit card payment. To do that, you can choose this third option here, and you'll see the percentage values show up. So half of my monthly expenses is going towards my rent, and for the rest, it's only around from 4 to 9%. So it gives a good visual, and just like with your functions, if you were to change one of these numbers, like say credit card, and press enter, not only will your totals change, but your chart will change immediately after pressing enter. And you can see it's resized. So the last thing I'm going to cover is a little bit of conditional formatting and then the if statement. So conditional formatting doesn't always happen. So my total extra is what I'm going to conditionally format. I want it to show an alert, something that really sticks out if I spend too much money this month. To do conditional formatting, here on the Home tab, click on Conditional Formatting. I'm going to use Highlight Cell Rules, less than. You can see there's many others, but for my purposes, less than will be enough. So if the number in this cell is less than 0, I want to format it. There's some presets here, but I'll do a custom format. In this space, you can format it any way you'd like. For our purposes, we'll go to the fill handle. I want to fill the background color with a bright red to make it really stick out if I start going into the negatives each month. And just click OK, and click OK one more time. Now you can see it doesn't look like I've done anything, but if my expenses were to go too high, like my credit card went up to a really big number that I was trying to pay this month, maybe I wanted to pay it off, you can see if I tried to pay it off, it gives me this red alert from the conditional formatting. Now that I have a negative number, it's showing that bright red to let me know that I'm spending too much and I need to reduce my spending. And with that, you can play with this number to try and find the perfect amount, so you're never going over and you're spending all your money in the right places. The last thing I'm going to cover is the if function. Now, it doesn't have much of a place in this spreadsheet, but it will come into play to give me a little bit of a reassurance. To do the if function, click on a cell. I'm going to choose this one right here underneath my total extra, cell B23. Go to this little icon here, insert function, and you can see if is already displayed, but if I couldn't find it in this list, you can just type it up here. Delete what's in that box and type in if, press enter, and you can see it lists all the things that contain if. Just going to double click on that. Now the if function contains three parts. This is what you want to test. If this comes out true, then this will happen. If it comes out false, this will happen. So my test will be similar to my conditional formatting. If B21 is a negative number, then I want to display a message, just a warning. If it's not, I'll say good job. So that is cell B21. If that cell is less than 0, so if it's a negative number, that means I'm spending too much money. So I will just say, warning, overspending. If it's not less than 0, that means I'm spending a good amount. So I will put in the value if false box great job, and click OK, and you'll see my expense right now. I still have a little extra money left over, so I get a little message, great job. If I were to increase some of these numbers, you'll see my warning message, I'm overspending. And remember, you can always adjust these numbers to anything you'd like, and everything else, your formulas, your chart, your if statement, will automatically change with these changes that you make here or here. One thing that I forgot to cover, we only did January. What about the rest of the months? So down here at the bottom, you'll see it says Sheet 1. Right click on that and choose Rename. This is January. Type that in right there and press Enter. to create one of these for February, I don't want to redo all of these steps. So I'm going to copy what I did here and create another worksheet. If you right click on January, the January worksheet, you see the option Move or Copy. Click on that. I want it at the end of my worksheet, my worksheets, and click Create a Copy. I don't want to just have one, I want two. Click OK. For this one, I'm going to rename it. Right click on the worksheet name, rename, and press enter when you're finished. And then for here I can change. Maybe this was a little more. Maybe I went over my minutes this month. I want to pay a little more on my credit card. And I didn't get my tax return this year, this month. And you can see my February worksheet I'm going over. But if you click here on January, it still has my January information. That's it for this Excel tutorial. Hope to see you on the next one.